order the special board meeting of the Board of Trustees for February 3rd, 2025 at 5:01 p.m. Our account balances as of January 31st, 2025.
Do we want to do a roll?
Roll call.
Oh, sorry. Yes, good call. Please call the roll, Madam Secretary.
Okay. Trustee Monahan?
Here.
Trustee Gordon, absent. Trustee Narayan? On her way. Trustee Santangelo?
Here.
Trustee Belinda's here. Trustee Fosco? Trustee Pesco?
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right. Now we can do the account balances. Our total general fund checking stands at $122,501.43. That's as of January 31st. Also, as of January 31st, the total building fund balance is $37,594.45. Also, as of that same date, the total gift fund balance stands at $2,015.23. The total reserve account stands at $159,027.55, as well as the total cash balance at $321,138.66, all of that January 31st date. Our general fund year-to-date 2024 to 2025 expenditures stand at $1,706,361.14. Again, that's also as of January 31st, 2025. On our consent agenda tonight, we have the approval of the January 2025 board minutes. We also have the approval of payroll for February 2025, the approval of medical insurance for March 2025, and the acknowledgement of the treasurer's report, as well as the approval of IRMF check for March 2025, and the approval of general fund disbursements for January 2025. Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented tonight?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Trustee Santangelo. Do I have a second?
Second.
Trustee Monahan, second. Do we have any discussion in the minutes or any of the items therefore? If there are no discussion, please call the question.
Trustee Monahan?
Yes.
Trustee Santangelo?
Yes.
Trustee Belinda's yes. Trustee Pesco?
Yes.
Okay, motion carried.
Okay, any correspondence, Madam Secretary?
No. We did receive an invitation to the 2025 Spelling Bee, which will be held on this coming Thursday at 6 o'clock at Elmwood Elementary School.
That's a good call. I think everybody got that individually, right? Awesome. All right, public participation. Who would like to speak? Do we have Damian Pearson Estrada?
Hello.
You can just talk. They'll pick it up.
Okay, got it. Good evening, trustees, Director Consiglio. My name is Damon Pearson Estrada. I spoke here a couple months ago about allowing a candidate forum to happen here at the library, and I'm very excited that that is coming to fruition next week, February 11th, from 6:30 to 8:30 here. So I do want to raise awareness that the League of Women's Voters, a nonpartisan organization, will be hosting that for the District 401 school board member candidates and library trustee candidates. I know there's not always a lot of opportunities for the public to hear from the candidates in town. A lot of the times we just see their names on signs, but we don't actually hear their views or things that they wish to advocate for in our community. So I'm hoping to hear from different candidates and their different perspectives. I think this is going to offer a vital chance for the community members to hear what incumbent and challengers have to say about what they see needs to be changed or what we can work on as a community. I believe candidates like myself should be all eager to have this opportunity to have the public hear them speak on these issues that they're seeking to change. I know that there hasn't been much advertisement around town except for some of the candidates who are going out and actively, approaching citizens and on social media, making sure that they're aware of this. So I'm doing my part here tonight by, letting you guys all know and in a public setting that there is a candidate forum happening. And I would urge all the candidates here, to go so that the public can hear what you have to share with them as to why you're running and why they should continue to reelect you or to elect a new member. I think this is an integral part of the democratic process. I think that, when someone wants to seek change, they do it at a local level. And this is a unique opportunity here in Elmwood Park that we're having this year. And so I just encourage all of you to take advantage of it and have people hear what your platform is about. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for your notes, David. Jack?
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Jack Bauer. I live on the 1600 block of 77th Avenue. I see that paid time off is on tonight's agenda. In December, Director Consiglio mentioned reducing 3 personal days currently provided to staff. Whatever the final proposal is, I strongly discourage you from reducing staff benefits. Also on tonight's agenda is the approval of 7 new hires, over 1/5 of the library's staff, highlighting the ongoing turnover the library has had over the last 2 years. I've even heard of a sign-up bonus given to one employee who is now already gone. If retention is a challenge, cutting benefits will only make attracting and keeping talent harder. The library receives many compliments on its services. I was personally appreciating the Polish children's book offerings you guys have upstairs the other day. This success is entirely due to the staff's hard work. They aren't overpaid or given excessive benefits. Rather than cutting benefits, we should focus on supporting and rewarding them. Last summer, when the board approved extending Friday hours, Director Consiglio called the added 4 hours of operation a week a fixed cost, which would not require more money to pay staff. That didn't make sense then, and it doesn't now. Expanding hours requires more resources. If the library is now trying to recapture staff time or cut costs, why wasn't the same scrutiny applied when extending hours? Why are staff expected to make up the shortfall? I watched the June 2024 meeting where the board approved keeping Friday hours until 9 p.m. or adding them from 5 to 9 p.m. No hour study or financial analysis was presented, yet it was claimed the change wouldn't add costs. Ironically, the reasoning has likely flipped. First, extended hours supposedly require no extra resources, but now staff must sacrifice personal time to keep the library running. This change will likely hurt staff morale, which directly impacts the library's success. Rather than reducing benefits, the board should focus on retention, fair treatment, and motivation. Thank you.
And do we have John Curran? Do you want to say anything?
Well, I'm not super prepared, but for starters, I live in Elmwood Park. I'm at 1930 North 77th Court, and basically, the forum that's supposed to, I guess it's happening. I'm just reiterating what's already been said, but it would be nice if all the incumbents could participate and the people in town could hear everybody's ideas and what they're advocating. So, I hope that comes to pass so that they show up and we can listen and hear about it. Okay, so that's about it. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, John. All right, we don't have anybody else on the list. We'll move on. Library Director's Report. Mike, you have the floor.
You know what? I'm going to jump ahead. Did you pass that out?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to jump ahead one. I'm going to go over our vacation, sick, and personal time policy. Okay, the annual vacation allotment is not going to change. It stays in current. Annual vacation distribution is going to improve from the employee perspective. Before, we were on a monthly accrual at 5.6 hours per paycheck. So what I decided, because first 6 months, on January 1 of each year, the employee will be granted half their vacation time. The other half will be allocated on July 1st. That's a benefit to the to the employee. No personal time is going to be taken away. Carryover limits are still going to be at 5 hours. And then the payout policy is going to be more beneficial to the employees because we will pay out the time as scheduled. Personal days, like I said, it stays the same. Sick days stay the same. So basically, it's the same policy as before, except that we enhance the accrual rate for the vacation time. Any questions?
You got two other items on here.
Yeah, I got two other items. I'm going to go to
Real
my...
quick, Mike, is this different than what you have? It's hard to read right now. Is it the same as what you have sent?
This is a brand new policy.
This is different than anything.
Yeah, that's
emailed?
different. What was in my original, the last draft, but I don't think you got a copy, was a proposal for a PTO time.
Yeah.
After I review the payouts and everything for PTO time, it doesn't fit our liabilities. We don't have enough cash on hand. Okay. This better fits the needs of the employees because a lot of them want to take vacation in the beginning of the year and they can't. So, and then they're forced to use their sick time, which they'd rather not. So this policy is pro-employee any way you want to look at it.
So this is going to be remanded to the BGPP.
This will
for the
be
policy
part
to
of
be-
the employee policy that will be reviewed by the attorney
and approved through BGPP.
and then approved through BGPP. Okay. Okay, regarding the director's report, all of you have seen it in your packet. You could see the cultural programs were popular in the month, and the Elvis tribute was a Trustee Santelgello was there, and what I understand, it was pretty good.
Oh, they had like tons of people.
Yeah,
In fact, they had a waiting list if they
right.
couldn't fall.
Right, we had in the 40s, so that was positive. Finance and budget meeting, real quick, and we're going to probably go over a little bit in the finance meeting. Is that Wednesday at noon? Myself and President Pesco have a meeting with the mayor, the village president, and the village manager to discuss our budget. You have our view right now in front of you that we're going to review later, and we'll go through that line by line. This is the first draft. Next thing I want to talk about is the elevator update. Our elevator was out for 2 weeks. Part of the problem was that the original parts that were delivered were not the right parts, and the parts are in another part of the country. So the wrong parts were sent back. That was the delay in it. But the problem still lies in that it is a Schindler elevator. And as I stated before, and it seems like there's a confusion on contract terms. Again, I want to reiterate to everybody, when we sign a contract in this library, it cannot be longer than the term. Right now, the term is May of 27. This contract is a 30-year, well, I think we're up to 30 years now, but the problem with it, the cancellation is every 5 years, 90 days before, so they kind of lock you in. The problem that we have, or the problem that we need to look at in the future, is, I mean, we have 3 years, is do we stick with Schindler? It's a Schindler elevator. Schindler's telling us that we're going to have to make a considerable investment.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 100,000 plus. I can't say that's true or not until I investigate someone else here. I'm concerned about that. Now, if we bring someone else here because it's a Schindler elevator, what are those costs going to be? So we're kind of caught in the middle on it until I get enough information. What has to be upgraded on? Schindlers are unique elevators.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Otis and whatever. But you know what? I have a few resources that I could go out and ask our situation. I mean, if it is definitely 100,000, or is it 200,000? I mean, the elevator is 20-something years old. It's checked for safety. I think it's a couple times a year, Mike. Yeah. So safety-wise, we're okay. We had 2 circuit boards that burned out. So again, that's a project of mine over the next couple of years to take a look at and see what's our best option and what's the correct option. Okay. All right. Regarding the HBC, now that's a much much bigger problem. In your packet, I've included you all the analysis that they did up on the roof by unit number. We had considerable amount of problems the last 2 months up there. We're going to be receiving an invoice for $20,000, and they'll go through each unit what they did. They went up there and they inspected the 16 units, and they gave us a list, which included in the packet, what's wrong with each of them. Rust seems to be a popular problem up there, besides everything else. I mean, we go through maintenance agreement with it, with the air conditioning, with the filters and everything, but and what's nice about the outfit that we have, where I trust them, is that they work hand in hand with our monitoring surveillance group, who monitors everything, our conditions. We don't have any alarms going off with the fire department coming more, but you know, things get old and things get replaced. In the past, you would have replaced various units, and we're going to continue to do that. So if you get a chance, read through that if you have any questions. One of the other things I gave you, it was important. I don't have it listed in here, but the building manager suggested we do a radon study here. And, you know, as we buy homes, we do radon testing and so forth, and it's important. This is something that we're going to regularly schedule, whatever the proper time frame is. And where they do it is they do it at multiple spots. And the person that we hired was very, very thorough at it. So I was very pleased we were under in all the locations that he tested. The next thing I just want to briefly touch is that staff has come up with a pretty good idea that I'm supporting, and it has to do with homeschool families. We're in a process of surveying. We've surveyed 4 families, a total of 7 kids, and they're excited about having a program during the day that their children can learn something that they can't teach them, the computer skills. And the other thing that they like is that as a group they can get together, the children can get together, and the adults could get together and, you know, discuss things and help the children along in different scenarios. I've talked to all the children myself. They're all excited about it. Various ages, and one of the current concerns was what time are you going to do it? And I had told them that it could be 1 or 2 children, whatever hour they have allotted here at the library. We'll sit down and teach them one-on-one. Don and Sydney will be heading that up. So I'm excited about that because the parents are really excited about it, and the teachers that are involved with them. We have a regular 7 people that come, basically a few times a week. 2 of them are preparing their NHL career, so they're 2 years ahead in the programs, and they're excited about it. So that's what I have there, and that is it.
You got the library improvement project?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, this is okay. I put together an improvement, and this is used for you and the state of Illinois. Summary is going on detailing the 3 parts of the project. There's 2 grants, and then there's our portion of the expense, which is $682,000. Today, you'll see in the note that I'm asking, I need to get a architect space planner out here. Where we're at right now, and what's described in here, is the least inexpensive in construction. The reason for that is that the area that we would like to develop has pillars and soffits. We didn't have the soffits, we'd have to go all the way up to the ceiling and an added cost. You know, that could be $100,000 more. Hopefully, after the engineers take a look at it, that the soffits are okay. The plan right now is that the space planner is going to come in and give us some alternatives. He believes that and I believe that we have wasted space in the center of the building, so we're going to move the bookshelves in the center. And we're actually going to move them back to where the lighting is corrected. Some time ago, the shelving units were turned opposite of the lights. Now, with the LED lighting, it doesn't really matter, but still, there'll be more lighting in it and in the area. The room designations are still depending on the planning. Down here, it's a question where we're going to put the lab. Are we going to put it here, or are we going to put it in a separate room? The main room will be the makerspace room, which is the most important, and that's where a majority of the expenses. I gave you details of the furniture. The state is going to be paying for the construction of the glass doors, a majority of the architect fees, and we'll be paying for all the infrastructure inside the room, furniture, carpet, the removal, painting, and the maintenance portion of everything that has to get done. Tomorrow I have another meeting with the state. I had a meeting with them today just to go over our plan and everything. I'm following the right procedure for them and the right level of information. So this plan is completely different than other plans that were submitted. This seems to be the best logical transformation. After visiting the 5 libraries that I did, and just so you understand, every library that I visited had been investing $4 to $6 million on their facility. It would be nice, but we don't have that tax basis to do it. But I think this is the best cost effective that we can do. The majority of a lot of their expenses, the furniture. We could get by. On that subject, the other day we went out and we bought 4 microscopes, $400 microscopes. We paid $5 a piece. We bought them used. And one of the things the owner of the place says, "You guys are a library. No library's coming in here to buy it. We don't have the money that everybody else has." So we're real happy about getting the microscope because that opens up our science classes for everyone. I broke down some of the narrative for you if you want to go through at your time and ask me any questions. Then I gave you pictures of the areas that are going to be involved in. And this is something that I'm going to present as is to the village, asking for the $682,000.
That's part of the budget.
Part of the budget. Now, they have 2 options that they give us the total cash in one lump sum, or we go out and get a debt service, and that would be a $500,000 note at approximately cost of about $135,000 over 5 years. I know we're not going to spend as much, but I had to make sure I covered all the expenses in my estimates. I get one shot to do it. With the state, we're pretty close on it. And I've already talked to the banks and had preliminary conversations with them as getting a letter of credit. And on that subject, previously, if you remember, when we were with Belmont Bank, we always had a letter of credit online. I discontinued that, and I'm going to look at that. That letter that we had with Belmont Bank was more of just in case if the state held funding. February and March, mainly March, is we get a majority of our money. And you can see in our reserves, we don't have that much cash on hand. So I might revisit that after I work with them on this project. So what do I expect? I expect the proof to the village with the data that we have in programming. Our expansion makes a logical sense to them. Fortunately, they've gotten great feedback from the community, as the trustees have been telling me that. So hopefully that money is available, and that's always a tough thing. I don't know what's going on in the other groups, but we are part of the village development program. So I don't know what the other groups are asking for, but I'm hopeful that we could give them a reasonable argument to make that we need to make an investment in the library because we can't do more programs. I gave projections on what I think the programs are going to be. I'm hoping that we hit 27,000 people next year. And that goes back to 3 years ago when we only had 9,000. Having Friday openings has allowed us to have programming at that time. No additional, no employees getting paid more time or anything. Their time is allocated and scheduled to their 1,950 hours. So, yes, answer any question, analysis are done. utilization studies are done on everything. So trust me, it comes with a detailed backup that I'll share with anybody.
So all those will be discussed in
Right.
committee, including the library improvement project. Finance committee will be addressing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
As part of the budget.
Part of the budget.
Okay. And that's a meeting following this meeting. All right, anything else?
That's it.
All right, if you have questions for the director, please see him directly if you haven't done so already. Building committee meeting, do we have a quick update at all?
Just what Mike just talked about, library improvement and then
Thank you. Bylaws, goals, policy, personnel committee.
yes.
Chairman Melendez.
I would like to get a motion to approve the hiring of the following William Carlton Fulmer for position of the architect. Hiring of Brandon
No.
Rodriguez.
Nope, that's a separate,
Wait.
separate, sorry.
So it has to be separate, okay. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second. I'll second.
I think SK already.
That's
did.
second.
Oh, did?
Yeah.
Any discussion?
Yeah, so, I think, don't we have to hold off on this until we know about,
No, we
Think
have
of this?
210,000. The majority of the money is being picked up by the state.
all right.
We can't do anything until we get a space planning.
And I did notice the proposal that was in there.
Yeah.
Right? It's in 2 phases. Are
Right.
we doing each phase separate?
Each phase is separate. The cost that you see reflected is his hourly rate is less than what we pay our plumber. So I've done some investigation on the cost for the
So-
total project.
So, so should we be amending this to say for phase 1, because phase 2 comes after they do their initial analysis?
What I put down is that we're giving them the retainer.
A retainer for phase 1?
For
or
phase
for the
1.
entire thing?
No, it's for phase 1.
Okay, and again, how much?
It's
is that retainer?
$3,000.
Okay. 3K.
It's the initial space plan.
And is that in budget?
It's yes, it's in budget. It's in the building fund budget,
Okay, and that goes back to, I think,
and then it goes back into the grant.
that goes
When we
back to the motion we had previously to allow you to check out architects, had you check out other architects.
Yes,
And
like I
how did
said,
they
the
come in?
$150 is compared to the $350.
Okay. I didn't quite see that. That was my discussion. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a question about the total being 3,000 because I thought it says it's 8,500.
Again, this is just for the initial space plan. Next month, we'll see where he's at with the space plan.
But it says phase 1, program and planning, phase 1 total 8,500.
Right.
But so if we're agreeing for phase 1,
We're agreeing to the retainer of $3,000.
With the
Okay? At
execution of
150
phase
the
1.
first 20 hours.
And then what are you going to do about that
Next,
going along? with
after we
1500?
see where we're at with his finding, then next month I will put in for the remaining cost.
But back to Trustee Monahan's point, right? So if we're doing the 3,500 now, are we going to incur that cost for them to do phase 1 and then be approving this in arrears?
Okay. Well, first of all, I need the first phase before I go to him. Then I got to go
Right.
to the state. So if I don't get the money to do the rooms, it doesn't matter to phase 2. I need the initial space planning.
Right,
That what
so-
we need to do that we can do.
Understood. So should we be approving the 8,500?
No. I want to see the outcome of the space plan.
So the
first.
3,500 is going to get us the outcome of the space plan?
Right.
So really, we should be amending this motion to approve the spend of $3,500.
3,000.
$3,000. The retainer was 3,500 or 3,000?
you said 3,000.
3,000.
Yeah.
It's 3,000.
That
I
might,
mean, I don't have it
It's not-
written.
it's
That's
not-
that might have
what
been
you
me
said
because
a
I
moment
got the
3,000.
'Cause I said
8,500.
How much?
It's 3,000.
It's 3,000.
Okay, that might have
Yeah.
been me because I saw the 8,500.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we should be amending the motion to approve the expenditure of $3,000 for William Carlton and Fulmer Architects to do an initial phase
Yeah, it's right.
study to inform the library improvement project. Does that make sense? Is that what's needed?
I want to just double check how I worded
Yeah, that's
it
right.
originally. Because see, he came to me and asked to start the project, and he needed a retainer.
Right.
That's all he asked me for.
It's on the bottom of the second page.
Yeah, because you have to realize the other point. If I'm not happy with what I see, I would rather be on the hook for 3,000, not to exceed 3,000,
no.
and sign any agreement for anything else.
Yeah, I'm not debating that. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is, we're saying 3,000, but his first phase here is 8,500. And so what you're
Right.
saying is we pay the 3,000, they're going to do some initial work, and that'll
Yeah,
decide
he's going
if
to
you're
do
going to
it.
need
Decide
to
if we
move
go
forward
into the rest
with
of
the
it.
remainder of
Right.
5,500.
Right. And 22,500 is going to be paid by the state
of his cost.
of the 30,000. Yeah,
If we
he's
move-
got 28,
if we
and
move
I
forward.
increased it slightly,
All right. So bottom line is we have the budget, and we're approving the $3,000.
$3,000.
So you're saying at this point we don't need to worry about that planning allowance? Because what I'm reading too, under general provisions.
Today, we don't have to worry about the planning and allowance.
I mean, it just says an initial payment of 3,000 required to initiate work.
Right. Again,
Does
he's
that-
just doing his
hold on,
base
hold on.
planning.
But if it says it's a payment of 3,000 to initiate work, so to start the work, and he needs to do the space planning, is there time taken to do the space planning? That's at 150
150
an hour, and you
If
have
he-
on here allotted for 40 hours. That's 6,000.
Right.
I don't want to give him 3,000 to say okay, start, and then say we haven't approved paying you.
Well,
beyond.
the problem that we might have is that this project might not be going at all because of the engineering costs regarding, like I said, the soffit.
Mhm.
And he might find out that we just can't do it
Mhm.
unless we make a larger investment. He looked at the plans for me, and one of the things is, there was always the weight is not properly distributed on a road. So we can never go up if we just hypothetically had to go up. And then things were added here to the original plan. I need to know that the building is engineering set that we could do the expansion.
Right. So again, expanding on what Trustee Monahan just said, though, should we be approving amount higher if it's in budget already, so that if he does do extra work above and beyond the retainer, you have it there versus waiting for a month to come back and get our approval again
Can
for
we
some
do
cost
that?
already spent. Sure, we can do it, as long as you have the budget.
Yeah, we have the budget to build.
So should we be approving to spend up to 8,500 for the first phase of work for the architect to inform the library improvement project, which also informs our
I
budget?
would wait 30 days to see what he has before I give us an obligation to spend it.
Well, it's not means we're going to spend it. We're giving you approval to spend it, but whether you spend it or not will come based on his finding. So that if he does more work than 3K worth of work in his retainer,
I would
You
rather
have to-
wait.
okay, so you'd rather
Right.
have him hold on any additional work if he needs to do it.
Correct.
So you're still comfortable with the 3K
3,000,
and no more.
no more.
Okay, if you're comfortable with that, I'm comfortable with it.
I mean, we could vote, but I am.
So I think that there's an amended motion on the table for the hiring of architect William Carlton Fulmer for expenditure to not exceed $3,000 for the initial phase of the library improvement project investigation. Does that sound like the right amendment?
Mhm.
Do we have from Trustee St. Angelo, do you approve the amendment?
It's fine.
And Trustee Narayan, you second? Any more discussion on it? Can you call the question, Madam Secretary?
Trustee Monahan?
Yes.
Trustee Narayan? Trustee Santangelo?
Yes.
Trustee Belundas, yes. Trustee Pesco?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Yeah.
And then now we have a second vote to the amendment.
We've always done it where we just.
Or we've just.
Are you
rolled it into
okay
one?
with the primary re-amending their motion.
Oh, sure.
Without having a
sure,
vote.
Sure. Okay.
And then
yeah.
the secondary approval.
Right. So
and then
she
voting.
just withdrew her original motion and adopted. it. Yeah,
Exactly.
That,
Yes. And we've done it. All right. And just one quick point of clarification. Are you okay if she puts these together?
Yeah.
Okay.
as
So,
long as nobody wants to pull anyone off. of
well,
it.
we can in discussion.
Right. You can in discussion.
Yeah. So, Trustee Belendis, you want to go ahead and make your
Motion carries.
yep. Do you want to make your motion for the hiring?
Motion for the architect hiring, right?
No, we're done with that.
So-
So the motion for the hiring of the
The rest.
7
So-
part-timers?
So I'd like to get a motion for hiring of Brandon Kevarabias for
Rubian?
the part-time adult services, hiring of Sarah Menke, part-time adult services, hiring of Maya Cauldron, part-time shelver, hiring of Genesis Rock, part-time circulation, hiring of Katie Dune, part-time youth services, hiring of Donna Balky for part-time youth services, and hiring of Joe Chapetta for part-time IT associate. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Trustee Santangelo, second.
I'll second.
Seconded by Trustee Mahan.
Any discussion?
Just a quick question: these were existing positions that are being refilled?
Existing.
And do you have an org chart, a recent one? If you could share with us.
Yeah, I'll send it
when
to you.
can-
So these are part-timers that left to go back to school or whatever.
They're part-timers, and we've replaced 2 full-time people with part-time. We've been down shelvers all along, as you can see. And with the amount of programs we were doing, we needed some help in youth services at the desk.
So this is all within the budget.
All within the budget.
What was the full-time position?
Adult services.
One full-time turning into 2 part-time?
Yeah, the adult services department had left, and we replaced her with Francesca.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chris So, who worked there, left, who was the former department head,
Mm-hmm.
had left, and we didn't replace him. I put in for jobs for him, and we got 23 responses, but I thought at this time we would hold off and wait. Because we got to go through the budget, and you're going to see when we go through the budget, we have a considerable amount of increase in salaries. Okay, and that was the technical position. I want to make sure we and it was nice that in Rails we did get some really good respondents, but at this time, I'm just opting to wait because until we get the makerspace going and everything else falling in line. Francesca's working with staff right now, increasing the programming down here. So I think we're pretty well covered at this time. And I just want to wait.
Any other discussion?
Nope.
All right, all in favor?
No, that's my job on this one. Go ahead and all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? You guys have it. Okay, do you have anything else on your report?
Yes, there's several policies that are listed on the agenda. They will be discussed in the committee meeting this evening.
Finance, okay. Anything else for BGPP?
That's about it.
Thank you. Finance Committee, I know Treasurer Bosco is not here tonight, but I believe the update is we'll be talking about that immediately after this to go over the budget and everything you've heard from the director's report. So moving on, do I have a motion to enter into executive session to consider the minutes of meetings lawfully closed under this act pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C21?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Trustee Belundis. Do I have a second? By Trustee Ryan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. We are going to adjourn to executive session. Thank you, folks. We need Do I have a motion to allow the executive session minutes to remain closed until another review?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by trustee Sanfani. Do I have a second? Trustee Narayan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Being there are no other items on the agenda, do I have a motion? I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Belendis,
I'll second.
seconded by trustee Monahan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. The, meeting is adjourned.